Hello and welcome to episode 47. This episode we're going to create a little world for our game in Blender. So open a new project in Blender. We'll actually use the cube starting out. I've got something in mind, something maybe inspired by Fall Guys or something like that. So it's just going to be a round world with basically a spot for the player to finish the level and record his high score or restart. Maybe we'll put the restart in the pause menu. I'd like to have a little cannon that he could shoot at a pile of crates as well, so we can see about that. But let's get started. So I think with this cube, I'm going to do a little trick for Polycount. So we're going to keep our triangles low, but have some higher geometry around it. So I'm going to duplicate this. Go into the duplicated one. I want to subdivide 5 times. 5 times. I want to erase everything except this line right here. Alt and click, and you can select just that. You can hit P, separate by selection, in which case you can delete the rest of this cube here. Okay, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to delete everything but the top. Let's do that. Okay, so now we can join them. Control J. Okay, and we have a tool here. We can select everything, basically. So 2 edge loops. Control E, bridge edge loops. So what that'll do is connect them with triangles or quadrilaterals, however it's going to work. So in this case, it just made some fans, triangle fans, on each corner. So that's great. So all I wanted to do with that is increase the scale of this a little bit. Let's bring it back up. Okay, so we have a little lip here, and because it's flat shaded, we're not going to get any weird looking shadows from this type of geometry. So it's going to be perfectly fine. And we then just have one quad on the top here. So this doesn't need to be like a giant grid of 70 triangles itself, right? So that's what we saved there. Another trick. So if I select this ring here, I want to make a circle now, right? So if I hit E and extrude, and I just scale this up, F3 is how you search for a function or a key that you don't have a hotkey to or don't know where it is. So we can use something called toSphere, right? And this will change a flat square into a circle or a cube into a sphere. And the cube into a sphere works really well for topology of a volleyball. So if you can imagine the way a volleyball looks, that's how you create that topology out of a sphere, because it doesn't initially have topology like that, right? It's going to be very difficult. But if you have a cube and you use this toSphere function, it'll give you the topology of a volleyball. Just like a hint, because that is useful some places, and I guess maybe it's a weird thing to mention, but either way. So I'm going to hit X and delete these vertices, because the main thing, the problem here, is the segments are all different sizes, and I want to use the segments to do something later. And I want to make sure they're all even. So I'm going to delete these vertices. Okay. I want to go Shift A and add a circle. So the circle here has 32 spots initially. So let's double that. Let's go 64. You could just subdivide the 32 circle as well. It would be just fine. Let's go to about here. I want to have a bunch of crates on top of this one here, and I want this area to just be basically free roam. So we can hit Control E and bridge edge loops here. Okay, and we just want to hit SZ0. So it'll put all of those on the same Z plane. Let me just bring it back up. Cool. Okay, so now we have all even segments across these here. Okay, so we're just going to actually extrude. We'll use the little cubes as reference. So as I hit E, I can go over to one side and right click and scale, and it'll all be uniform. So I can just go over to one side and scale this sort of this way. I want the world to be not enormous. Okay, that works. All right, so next let's go right out, maybe to here. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I want to create a few of these segments, so we'll go 2.5 again. I want to have a revolving boulder here that can hurt the player if he accidentally gets hit by it. So let's scale this up just one more. Let's go to there. Okay, I'm going to keep going. About 2.5. So here I'm just going to actually do E, GZ, slide this down. So we're going to actually color code all of this with materials, and that's actually probably how I will have the level in the end. So it'll just be a series of a few colors that we create with materials. Maybe I'll scale that out just no. Okay, easy, and pull this down. About there. Okay, and I just want to have a space here, so we'll have some revolving platforms, maybe on water or something, that the player needs to jump onto, otherwise they will get hurt. Maybe it's poison acid. We'll see what we can do with some of those other particle effects. Let's just duplicate an edge. So Shift D and duplicate. I want to come out about the same width as the ring here for the boulder. Maybe to there. Okay, let's do EZ. E and Z. Go down around the same amount. Okay. And continue on, just maybe one more. E and Z, bring it all the way down. Alright. Alright, so we've got a level going. Okay, let's, what I want to do with these is make little ridges out of them. So I'm just going to give 2 loops, Control R, scroll your wheel once. So I'm going to do this. Okay. And instead of extruding, I just want to hit G and Z and bring these up just the slightest bit. So I want the player to actually be able to get up onto this square, right? So we want to make these the same way. We don't want them too high that they're walls. Just a little tiny ridge for him to go over and kind of feel like he's moved on to a different area of the level. All right. Okay, so these I want revolving. I want these to be spinning. So let's just select all these, holding Alt and clicking one of the edges, hit P, selection. So we have now these here, they are separated from the rest. Good. So let's hide that for now. Let's go in here. Let's take each of these outside edges and just give it a wall for the sake of our physics and collision not going all wonky. Just bring this down, probably to the same level. It's not going to increase any triangles or anything like that by pulling it down lower, so that'll be good. Alrighty. And we don't even really need to UV unwrap this. The way I'm going to color it, we don't need to UV unwrap it. We probably should anyway, just for lighting and stuff, so we'll do that. We'll do a trick. We'll do a trick where if you don't care about your mapping, you can do a quick little button and it'll unwrap stuff for you very, very fast. So I also want to actually, you know what, I'll select all of these, holding L. Just those. Then I want to get this, and this. Okay, and all of these. I want to shade these smooth. Okay, make sure on faces, right click, shade smooth. So within a model you can choose to shade only certain things smooth instead of the whole model. That's useful. So let's start coloring it. So just so we know what we're doing and where everything is. So let's go materials. Let's make this default material almost black. We'll make it flat, like a flat black. Okay. I want to select. Let's just hide these for now, for a second. Select this guy, add a new material, and we'll just call this black. This will be like a gloss jet black. Okay, assign. Maybe it's too smooth. There we go. Just Alt-H, unhide that stuff. Still connected, no problem. Alright, I think I'll do a glossy orange as well. Let's change the name of this to be flat black. We'll do flat orange too. Something like that. A little smoother. Okay, and let's mark some seams, just so this is easier to select. So only for selection purposes, let's mark a seam right there. Let's mark a seam right there. Here. Here. So we probably maybe want to add an edge loop here or there. Yeah, let's add an edge loop up here. That just fixes the shading a little bit. On the inside of this one, pull this up. Okay. You can see the shadow just on that lip, looking a little more natural. As you can see, sort of the spread of the light reflection and bounce is going to get a lot lower, which is what we want. It's good. Okay, last one. Good. Okay, continuing on seams. I don't want the edge just below the surface. I want the edge directly on the surface here. I want them to be able to differentiate that these are kind of sitting on top. Let's mark seams. Missed 1, 2, mark seam. Good. So let's color code all of these bright orange. Sun. Okay. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's specular's too high. Maybe. Yeah. There we go. It's easier to see. Okay. Let's make a. Let's say flat orange. We'll make this a little bit darker, maybe. Deeper. Okay. Let's make a flat white. This would be for the revolving platforms. This is pretty much how... it's probably going to look a lot like the Fall Guys thing. I'm cool with that. It's a learning project, right? Roughness all the way up, specular all the way down. Okay. All right, so let's go to this other piece here. Go inside.